up, gamers? I'm Jason.
I'm Julie.
And today on Dice & Dragons, we are going to be reviewing the new expansion for Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig. This is Secrets and Soirees, published once again by Stonemaier Games in conjunction with Bezier Games, and it is designed by Ben Rosset and Matthew O'Malley. Now I'm going to toss it over to Julie, who will tell you more about the game itself.
This is an expansion, so it's obviously like the base game. It is competitive. It is now for 1 to 8 players. Jason will talk a little bit more about that. It is for ages 10 and above, and it plays in about 45 to 60 minutes. It really depends on how much analysis paralysis is happening around the table.
Yeah, I would say that has largely to do, as we discussed in our review of the 2-player variant, the size of the letters on the tiles. Now, with that being said, what will you be doing now in Secrets and Soirees? Well, just like the base game, you will be building a castle. You may be working together cooperatively on castles, or you may decide to be building your own castle. In that case, you will be subject to Ludwig's demand, and other players will be passing you tiles that you must include in your castle. But you will only have your score, so no more having your best score excluded. So there are some cool differences like that. You also get the addition of the new activity rooms as well as the new secret rooms. Now the secret rooms actually take on the properties of an adjacent room. It'll depend on which way the arrow is pointing. And the activity rooms will now be scoring points orthogonally, or potentially if they are surrounded by different types of rooms, whichever way is going to get you the most points. So some really cool new additions to the game. As you can see, we got our trays in front of us. Pretty easy to get set up and cleaned up. So what do we got to do, Julie?
Well, I think we also have to mention something about the game itself, right?
Oh, yes. Take it away.
Well, I was just going to say thank you to Stonemaier Games for this review copy. We really appreciate it, and we'd just like to remind everybody that, as always, our comments are our own.
Yes, and what would I do without her? She keeps me on track. And what do you got over there, Julie?
Could it be?
It's another copy.
We have a duplicate.
Yes. So completely due to a shipping accident, we do have a second copy of Secrets and Soirees. So stay tuned. At the end of the video, we'll be discussing our giveaway contest after our review. And then once again, just a reminder, we did not ask for this copy. This is completely an accident. Stonemaier Games normally doesn't do giveaways. We just had this happy accident which gave us this opportunity. So we'll take it away and I'll show back up later on in the video.
So this is normally the time where we grab our drinks.
Yes. Grab our best friend and fellow builder.
We're going to take it to the table. Excuse me, one more time.
One more time. Well, nice thing about this one, it's very easy to set up and very easy to clean up.
Yes, it is.
Now we're going to take a quick look at the components for Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig. Now, not all of the components are visible. Certain ones, like the bonus cards, we will take a look at. However, as there are a lot of different tiles, as you can see, it didn't make sense to go through all of them individually. So let's start with the rulebook. Once again, some great quality from Stonemaier Games. We get a nice list of all the components, the new regular room type tokens, and we'll quickly go over to that just because I don't want to forget. And it gives you an idea as to how you'll be using them. These tokens are associated with the secret rooms, which I will discuss in a moment. As you can see, we got some for the food rooms, some for your sleeping rooms, and let's take a look at one more of these components, the outside rooms. And as you can see, you've got one for all the different room types, including the new activity rooms. There's going to be one new castle token, Wartburg Castle. I do love the turquoise. We do have 8 new player aids because we have the increased rooms. Well, the room types is what I meant to say. We've got the new score pad, and there are 2 promo tiles that I didn't take out from the game to showcase. You'll just get them and they'll be a nice surprise for you. Now you get the instructions how to set up the new tray, which fits perfectly into the box, mind you. The rules for the new activity rooms and the secret rooms. You then have the new bonus cards detailed, as well as the Mad King's Demand variant, which lets you play just with your own personal castle. The other rulebook that you get is for the new Automa, the solitaire mode of the game. Actually, I'll put this one down. It'll be a little easier. So you have an introduction and explanation as to how to play the solo mode. I've yet to try it, but everything you need is right here. There's also a second variant of it as well. So that's why it's the 2 solitaire modes. And for that, we've got the Automa cards. As I said, I haven't looked at it, not quite sure what they do, but you've got all the instructions as to how to use the Automa. There are also some reference cards underneath the reference cards. We'll take a look at these quickly. So as you can see, we got the room types. So this is just your generic ones. Room types, scoring, the bonus for 3, the bonus for 5. And then here we have the Automa related cards to help you keep track. Now they are double-sided for the different setups. Now let's take a look at the new throne room. So we only do get one, and this is because it lets you now score with the new activity room. We'll talk about the activity rooms. So as you can see, the way they score is either 4 points with the tiles in the orthogonal positions. Otherwise, 1 point if they are surrounded by corridors. What I really like about that is the flexibility. So let's reference the rulebook quickly because we're not going to be doing a how to play. So it just tells you each activity room scores 1 point per tile orthogonally adjacent to it. However, each activity room only scores 1 point total if it has the room type it does not want in any room space surrounding it. So that's the real trick of it. You don't want the corridors surrounding it, so it can be very challenging for you to score some points. Actually, I shouldn't say challenging. You just have to be thoughtful in your placement of the rooms. Now we have the new secret room types, which are a lot clearer. You can see there are different arrows on the tile. What they do is they take on the properties of the rooms, either, well, in the direction that their arrow is pointing. You will then take one of these tokens and place it in the room to symbolize what it's becoming. So if there's a sleeping room adjacent, you would take this, but since we got a nice visual cue here, I'll try to find the tokens for the activity room. So we've got one right here. In this case, if this was your placement in the castle, it would become an activity room. The regular tiles that you get just offer you, and that one ended up upside down, some new scoring options for the activity room types and a few other things. As it's now going to 8-player, you do need just some more tiles in general. We've got the new ballroom, which will then score based on what is in the adjacent castles. So you're scoring based on what other people are doing. That's why you will draw 3 when you get this bonus and get to pick the one that you would like to keep. As I mentioned, we've got the new score pad with the new room types. And lastly, we've got the 8 new bonus cards. So you can see you get 1 point per mirror, 3 points per set that you can get now, 2 points per activity room, 1 point for the swords, 1 point per torches, 1 point per specialty room in the adjacent castles, 1 point per painting, and 2 points per secret room. Those are the 8 new bonus cards. So there you have it. We've taken this quick look at the components for the expansion. Now keep it right here as Julie and I will be coming back at you with our review. Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig, Secrets and Soirees. Was this a magnificent soiree or a terrible secret?
Well, I really enjoyed, there's a new variant or a new way that you can play basically where you're building your own castle. You're not cooperating on another castle, right?
Yeah, so that's the new addition to the game. For those of you that skipped over maybe part of the intro and just to get you caught up, the way that it works is you will still be taking 2 tiles. However, depending on the way you're going, left or right, you will be passing 1 tile as Ludwig's demand to the other player that they must include in their castle. So you're trying to pass them the least useful thing, whereas the other players are trying to find ways to make those tiles useful to score the most points. You'll no longer have your score eliminated because you only have your own castle.
So I thought that was a lot of fun for a couple of reasons, but the main one being that this game played in less than half an hour when we played it, just the two of us. So it makes it a viable option for a weeknight game.
Yeah, and I mean, we played the two-player variant of the original, and for those of you that didn't check out that video, there'll be a card popping up right now. You can go see what we had to say about it. And while we enjoyed that, I think it just felt long working on both castles and having the also having to do the automated player in terms of Ludwig. And
This one was just a lot easier and clearer to play, honestly.
well, it's just flow. The game was like pick your tiles, pass them, pick your tiles, pass them. So you're just constantly going. It's not having to, pick from Ludwig's tiles, decide for Ludwig, and also try to be like good but not as good. You really just it simplifies the decision making. I think that's the best way to put it, actually.
So the other thing I want to talk about is the addition of the ballrooms. I think they're pretty cool. This is written. It's probably one of my only complaints about the game, or my main complaints. It's really small. I mean, I can read it, probably because I have astigmatism, so it's easier for me to see little things. But this is small for a lot of people.
And we had the opportunity to play with your parents, and it was difficult to play with them only because they had a hard time reading the tiles. Everything else worked very well, and it really cemented our thoughts that this is a great family game.
Yeah, so the thing I like about the ballrooms is that it adds a different dynamic for scoring, because it basically, you get to pick three tiles, and you pick the one you like the most. It basically scores points for every and you pick the room type. So in this case, I'm holding corridors, courtyards, or outdoor spaces, and bedrooms. But it scores them on the adjacent castles. So I think that's, even when you're playing two players, that's still a pretty cool dynamic.
No, and it's one of those things that if you do get a ballroom and you are playing two players or playing when you're building your own, you can definitely be like, well, hey, you want this, right? That's going in your castle because you have the ballroom that's going to score some points off of it as well. So there's some things like that you're able to do that really changes up the strategies.
And besides that, there's the activity rooms that I know you liked probably a little bit more than I did.
Well, I just fit so well in terms of placement in the castle because they score orthogonally. So yes, for people that haven't read the rule book or get confused, I had to look it up my first time. I wasn't quite sure what it was. And it gives you a great way to get some points. And they're always solid. I find that no matter where you're placing these rooms, you're typically going to get 2 points because you're going to score a point for each room around it. So if you have like a gap in your castle, plug it in there. You got 3 points. If you put something above it, you'll get your 4th point. Also, it gives you some neat ways to build your castle out left to right, especially if you are going for like, a second level garden, because you can still get some nice points putting those garden spaces above the activity rooms. And what did you think of the secret passages?
Well, I think the secret rooms, aren't they?
Secret room, secret passages. Well, I think it's like a secret passage like to that room. That's why it copies the...
Okay, well, it copies... So I felt that it allowed you to kind of bypass where you could have a little bit of variability because of the way tiles are. You could end up with a total stack of 9 cards that don't have one of the card that you're looking for. So this allows you, to a little bit more flexibility in picking the kind of room you're looking for. And when you're trying to complete a set towards the end of the game, they're really useful.
Yeah, and the really cool thing about that is they will copy the room properties of whichever way their arrow is pointing, and gives you an opportunity to score bonuses a little bit easier, get your 3 rooms if you're not getting the tiles that you need, almost like cards. If you want to get up to 5 rooms to score that bonus as well. So it just really fleshes out the game. And I think that especially when we were playing the 2-player variant, sometimes we were complaining about the lack of certain tiles that were coming up and how that made things difficult, especially when we're also managing the second castle. And these secret rooms definitely go a long way to streamlining the game and streamlining the gameplay overall.
I mean, I just felt that this just added to the game. I just think we enjoyed the original game, and I just think the expansion, at least with the change in the gameplay as well. I mean, even if they didn't have the extra rooms, I still think that it makes the game more interesting.
I have to agree with you. Everything that was added in this game just improve the game. Now, this is it's up for debate, and this is just talking about another expansion, Wingspan Oceania, also by Stonemaier Games. We find that makes the game a lot more accessible. And whereas I feel that this does the same thing, but also differs, is that it rounds it out. It improves the game, makes it more accessible, but it's not changing enough of the mechanics that I think if you're a fan of the core game, you're going to find that you're getting something necessarily different. And in most cases, I want an expansion to feel different and be adding something new. Instead, this one I feel is just, if there was any holes in it, it was really just patching the holes, adding the Atoma as well for solo play, giving you more ways to play it, making it easier to get to the table, and also offering you different play options, even streamlined ones like we discussed. I think this is just all around better. Also, the storage is awesome, and I'll refer over to the lovely Vanna White here to show you how these trays can fit together.
Yeah, I think they may actually disappear off camera. I don't know what exactly.
You might have to just pull it back on so that people can see, just maybe up against there.
They nest very well.
Yeah, so they will nest perfectly on top of this tray in the box, which is just, it's a really nice touch. And we love our production value of games. We love our big miniatures games. This isn't one, but the trays, the way everything is set up, and also set up and tear down is still very quick. If you do shuffle all the tiles when you tear down the game, well, guess what? You're ready to go next time you open the box. So that's a big win. And this tray ensures that it's still going to happen even with the new content. Plus you get pretty colors like, another castle, turquoise. I like it. Is there anything you want to add at all, Julie?
No,
about
I don't.
Review? So we are going to give our score for the game. And then before we do our outro, we're going to talk to you about our Secrets and Soirees giveaway.
So my score for this expansion is a 7.5.
It's a 7.5. I'm going to give it an 8. I think I like this a little bit more than you do. I really enjoyed all the different room types. I think that this makes the game better. Now, we only reviewed the 2-player variant, so I'm not so sure how this would really stack up, but we got to get a couple more plays in at 4 players. And I think we'll be doing something at some point before the end of the year. We're going to have our 4-player upgrade rundown, which will include like Between Two Castles, Naruto, Red Rising, and a few other games that we get a look back at and get to the table with more players. But overall, as you can see, we like this expansion and it's highly recommended. So for our giveaway, how do you enter to win a copy of Secrets and Soirees? Well, first off, subscribe to the channel, comment on the video if you would like, or check us out on social media as well. You can find us down below in the video description. We've got our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And we would like you to enter in a few different ways, which I'll toss over to Julie, who will tell you how you can enter.
So basically, in order to enter the contest, as Jason says, you have to, first of all, like the channel. Second of all, comment on one of the mediums that for one of the posts. So either on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. You
can even comment on YouTube because we will take descriptions as to what we are asking you to do, and Julie will now take it away.
So what we're asking you to do is to tell us what your dream game room looks like. Do you have your dream game room? If so, send us a picture. Do you have a picture of that up on your dream wall of what you would love to have? If you don't have a picture, then describe it for us. Let us know what your dream gaming area would look like.
Yes, exactly. And definitely do it on, do it on all the social media feeds. What we're going to do is we're only going to take one entry. On our previous giveaway, we let you get multiple entries. For this one, only one. The way it's then going to work is that Julie and I are each going to pick a finalist. We will then have a short video where we will draw the winner, and the winner will, of course, win a copy of Secrets and Soirees. And the other person, because you made it to the last round, will win a game from our shelf. Now, it's going to be something of similar value and box size to Secrets and Soirees. We got a few things that will be.
It just won't be a sealed box.
No, it will not be a sealed box. It'll be something from our collection, something you may have already seen reviewed on the channel, or maybe not.
So how long do they have to participate, Jason? When are we going to close everything off and pick the 2 finalists?
Well, as this is coming out on a Thursday, what we're going to do is we're going to run this for A week or 2 weeks? What do you think?
I think we should run it for 2 weeks.
So we're going to run it for 2 weeks. We'll actually run it a little bit over 2 weeks. So we're going to have that close date going to pop up on the screen because I don't have the calendar in front of me. We'll run it to the Sunday 2 weeks after this video is released. So you saw the date, you know how long you have to enter. So tell your friends, share it. You got a chance to win a copy of Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig, Secrets and Soirees. And then once again, just to remind everyone, our disclaimer, this was due to a shipping accident. We ended up with 2 copies of the game. This was not a giveaway sponsored by Stonemaier Games. I would like to say thank you to Jamie and Stonemaier Games for letting us do a giveaway to support the channel because we accidentally got 2 copies of the game.
So on that note, like it for the contest, but you could like it if you like the video, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified when we have new content for you.
So you already know what's down below in the video description, our social media feed, so you can submit your entries to the contest. You can also find a link down there to multizone.ca, a great Canadian game store if you're looking to pick up Between Two Castles or Secrets and Soirees when it's released in a couple of weeks. Check them out. It's a great way to support the channel as a portion of that purchase is returned to us and you get 10% off. Then popping up in front of us are going to be links to our previously released videos. In front of me will be our most recent release. In front of Julie will be
Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig.
Exactly. And with that being said, what time is it?
Time to grab our drinks.
Grab our best friend and fellow builder.
Okay, keep playing games.
We're going to keep playing games.